It's UPBOptionMillionaires.com on this Thursday, June 14, 2018. About 10 minutes before the opening bell, look at S&P 500 futures. Up almost 0.4%, recovered pretty much all of the losses that we saw after the Federal Reserve came out, and much like a Jets QB the last 8+ years, telegraphed the 0.25% rate hike. The market fell a little bit, but still stayed within the range that we've seen throughout this OPEX week. Yes, monthly options expiration, price action. Where are we? We're right back where we closed right now. Who knows? Just close the markets right here and close the market flat for the rest of the week, because that's probably what's going to happen. We're consolidating again. If you look at the S&P 500 ETF, the spiders, we consolidated for almost 2+ weeks before we finally broke out of this flagging pattern. Look at that. Almost hit 280 yesterday. This wedge breakout after the pullback to start the year. So things look pretty bullish all around for the market. You see the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, the spiders, small caps breaking out to new all-time record highs. That's the IWM. You look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ, also breaking out. Could it be a head and shoulders topping pattern? No, much like we saw in September 2009. A break, any kind of bearish setup ultimately ends up being a bullish one in disguise. Hello there. You look for a couple charts really setting up. Look at Amazon just slowly grinding to record highs out this morning as an analyst, upgrading the stock to $2,100 per share. Remember a couple years ago when it was in the 200s? I shouldn't say a couple, 3 or 4 years ago, how bearish people were in Amazon. Here we are 800% later, and the bulls are actually just starting to come out of the closet. Hello, 2,100. Baba and Baidu also upgraded this morning. Baidu with a $300 price target. Remember, it was a Friday 3 weeks ago when we had that plunge. And since then, I did a couple videos and I talked about how the Baidu was like that song, it gets knocked down and gets back up again. Get knocked down, get back up again, knocked down, up again. And it got knocked down. Guess what? It's coming back up again. Baidu looking for that 300 level, and Baba looking to break out to new all-time record highs. Much like that 200 level, you can see this 210 level has acted as resistance, break through that, and it's going to be green skies. Same with Facebook. Look at this resistance that we've seen with Facebook. If you look at Facebook, coming up against this 195, which is record levels. If we could break above that, puts 200 into focus. Google also breaking out. Look at Google on a longer-term chart perspective here. 1 year, just like that wedge we saw for the SPY. We broke out of it, came back. Now we look poised here. Possible new all-time record highs in the short to medium term for Google. And speaking of new all-time record highs, Netflix, Goldman Sachs raised the price target. Remember, before the market on Tuesday, I shouldn't say before after the market closed on Tuesday, we had Netflix actually pull back to 357 after hours. And then yesterday, the exact opposite happens. We rallied, a significant rally over the 380 mark. This morning, we're up at 385 on Netflix. Looks poised to break that 400 level, and you can look at the intraday action after we move, a nice flagging pattern. So Netflix, Amazon, Google, FANG looking good, and then a couple other charts to look at. Bearish, you want to be bearish this market. We have some rumors out of possible increased oil production. And so if you look, energy, I talked about this line in the sand here for XLE. We've gotten up to it, resistance. We're pulling back. We're through it. So XLE, from a longer-term perspective, energy could be pulling back to that 67.50 level. That's something to watch. So if you want to be bearish, something in this market, energy. All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. The market's going to open momentarily. Looks like another bullish day for the market. Some of the high growth names continue to outperform. Look at Shop, which hit a new all-time record high yesterday before pulling back. Kind of mirroring W. Remember, Wayfair earlier this week had a spike to record highs to almost 110 before pulling back. Shop got up to 171 yesterday, pulled back. Gosh, it was almost $8 after the Fed bouncing here, and you see this pre-market we're up about this level. So look for a similar type of move that we saw with W, which hit its record high, I believe, on Monday. This was the Thinkorswim halt. We had no information for about, 2 hours from TD Ameritrade, but you can see W, after it pulled back like Shop did, it recovered those losses the next day, nice spike up, and then has now up at new all-time record highs. All right, UPB Option Millionaires, OptionMillionaires.com. Again, everyone have a great trading day. I'll see you in the chat.